Welcome into episode number 143 of The Voice Behind the Voice. I'm Sean Aronson, the TV and radio broadcaster for the St. Paul Saints, an independent minor league baseball team in the Twin Cities. Well, every year we like to do something special for our corporate partners. And the last couple of years, we've come up with this kind of awards ceremony, this make it a big to-do, almost like you would see at the Academy Awards. You roll out the red carpet, you invite them into the nicest area that we have in the ballpark in our Securian Financial Club, and you have a very nice dinner. 2 years ago, or I should say maybe last year now, we had our owner, Mike Veck, get up in front of everybody, do a little tongue-in-cheek about some of our partners, and it was great. The partners loved it. I would say it probably went on maybe a little bit too long, but it was the first time that we'd ever done an event like this. So this year we decided, let's do something similar, give everyone an award, but let's bring in a showstopper. Let's bring in someone that people are going to be talking about well after they leave. And no, it was not me. I was not the big act that they brought in. But we brought in a mentalist. Now, it's a mentalist that I've seen before. A couple of years ago when all the teams got together down in Charleston, this guy performed for all the teams. And it's mind-boggling to watch. Like, you know that there's got to be some sleight of hand somewhere, that there's got to be some sort of, I don't even know, because some of these are just unexplainable, to the point where, like, he'd have people call out numbers and a vacation spot and a car and how many days we were on vacation and all this stuff he would turn into a story that was in a sealed envelope, like one of those UPS envelopes that you tear open where it says pull the tab at the top, and then within that envelope was another envelope that was sealed, and then he would pull that out, had someone read it, that like this other person would pull it out and read this story that had all the numbers that people shout out, that had the place that someone shouted out for vacation, had the car, it was unreal. Like, it was just one of many different tricks. I don't know if that's a fair word to use, but just leaves you scratching your head. And part of you wants to know how it's done, and then part of you just loves the illusion that someone could pull this off and make it so incredibly magical. It really was just, again, I've seen it before, and some of the stuff that he did the other night was what he did a couple of years in Charleston, but it was still unbelievable. This guy performs for like big name athletes and wealthy people. I think if you go to his website, he's performed for Joe Montana before, and I don't even remember all the names, but Montana's name sticks out. And so, like, the guy has been around, but he looks young. I don't know. He looks like he's in his 30s somewhere. But just a fascinating watch to see this mentalist, this magician, this whatever you want to call him, perform for everybody. And everybody was talking afterwards. And, you get those skeptics, and I'm a skeptic, that you're like, this is how he did it. This is how he did it. And each trick that he does thereafter, he must have done 6 or 7, gets more and more difficult to explain as he goes along, which I think he does that on purpose. It was fantastic to see. So that's really all that has gone on in the last week. So with that, I'll do a little bit of magic my own and bring you episode number 143. It is Mark Champion of the Detroit Pistons. He tried to say in English. Again, I say this 142 previous times. Wonderful guy, super nice guy. Sat down in the hotel where the team was at, and just told story after story. A guy that's been around for more than a few years. He's been around for a little bit, and just some fascinating stories that he told. I do want to caution you, the first 5 seconds of this, the audio is all messed up for whatever reason. I think I need to go buy a new XLR cable, so you'll hear it right at the beginning, just some crackling and stuff like that. It corrects itself, and I think there are a couple other small parts where it's not as bad, but you just get a little background. But for the most part, it's fine. So just know that I'm out buying a couple new XLR cables, because that's usually where their problem lies. But you'll enjoy this. He's fantastic, wonderful, and if you enjoy this and any of the other ones, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so. iTunes, wherever you get your podcast, Follow us on social media, Twitter at The Voice BTV, Facebook, facebook.com/TheVoiceBTV. You can always email me, thevoicebtv@gmail.com. All right, let's get to it. Episode number 143 with Mark Champion of the Detroit Pistons. JW, do your magic. Roll the open.
A guy named Phil Lingell,
Yeah.
who has the voice of God.
Yeah.
And he called me up, and the Buccaneers would do a thing every year with Walt Disney where the players would come over and, whatever it was. So, and of course, he knew who I was from Ball State. So he called me up and said, hey, we've got this commercial idea we're going to do, and would you be interested in voicing it? I thought to myself, why aren't you doing it? Your voice is like the voice of, you're James Earl Jones, for crying out loud. They hired me, and the rest, as they say, is history.